In today's news, Petrus Gas jobs 30 Virgin Islanders through 1,000 jobs in 1,000 days.
Cybercrime and Computer Misuse Act passed.
BVI Red Cross receives donation from National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
We are talking about a former NBA player,
Yes.
Mr. Jermaine Taylor, as well as Rich Mahar. They're both in the BVI, of course, giving back through the basketball camp. We have all the details for you.
And Ready to Serve and BVI Health Services Authority receives a whopping $50,000 from the Rotary Club of Tortola. Ladies and gentlemen, these and more stories when 284 News returns.
What are you really running for, boss? You could have bust a hole in your head. But see, with the competition, which means you're about to bust a hole in your pocket.
I could get my modem, please.
Anyhow, I got something huge to show you.
I gotta be sick in your head.
The whole on string bean, Tina kind of party. Check this. That's LTE1 for just about everyone. LTE2 for you and your boo. And hold on. Bam! Rate so low, you feel like you're free. That's LTE3 for you and the whole family.
Save even more on your internet with new pricing from CCT. Get LTE 2 now for only $149. Get LTE 3 for the new low price of $189. All packages are unlimited, so there's no overage charge. You don't have to run into Chaz for savings. Just stop by our store and sign up today. Come on over to CCT. Life Unlimited.
Welcome everybody. It's Thursday, February 13th, 2020. A terrific Thursday that is in the beautiful British Virgin Islands. I'm Ron Grant.
The most beautiful place in the
Indeed,
world. Of
paradise.
course, happy to be joining you, and I'm Jovan Wilson.
We live, Jovan, where they vacation.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of us take it for granted.
You're right.
But we definitely have to do more to get out and enjoy the beautiful British Virgin Islands. We have tons of news coming your way
That's
today.
right. So let's get right into it. Topping our newscast today, 30 Virgin Islanders were employed by PG Gas at Petrus Plaza last month through the Government of the Virgin Islands 1,000 Jobs in 1,000 Days program. Premier and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Andrew A. Foy, said, and I quote, that the 1,000 Jobs in 1,000 Days program was not just an election gimmick, but a strategy to ensure that all Virgin Islanders are gainfully employed and contributing to the economic development of the territory. The Premier said, and I quote, we promise that every single citizen who wants to be trained, who wants to be employed, even belongers who want to contribute to the economic survival of this territory, to be able to do so by getting a job through the 1,000 Jobs program. The Premier said, adding, and I said, and I quote, I thank the Petrus team for investing the 1,000 Jobs in 1,000 Days program, as they have hired 30 persons. Speaking to this criticism that the program had garnered earlier, the Premier said that his focus is on making an impact in the lives of those who are employed through the program. He said, and I quote, even if we hire one person, this is one less person who is off the streets, one less person who does not have to worry about, one less person who would not have to turn to crime. Mr. Allison Ali Petrus, owner of the PG Gas enterprise, spoke about the development and the journey of bringing Petrus Plaza to fruition. Mr. Petrus said, our idea was to diversify our business portfolio and our markets and to be able to make a difference wherever we go. It is something special that we saw about this project as a whole, because in the final translation it meant jobs coming into the British Virgin Islands. Mr. Petrus added that despite him being a qualified builder in the U.S. Virgin Islands, his decision to hire a qualified construction company came from the government's call for persons to hire locals. He said, and I quote, we understand how economics work. If we want to grow an economy, the economist tells us that every dollar that is in the community circulates about 7 times. The best way to have your money circulated is to hire locals, people who are going to live here and spend their money here. Because of the circulation of that dollar is how an economy thrives. The 1,000 Jobs in 1,000 Days program was launched by the Government of the Virgin Islands on August 21st last year, and just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, to date it has jobbed 77 persons within that time frame.
77 persons. Do you think that it was probably too ambitious, the initiative?
Well, Jovan, that's not a question for me to answer. It is a question for the general public. I think, to be honest with you, a lot of times we set non-realistic goals, but in the same breath, that is sometimes how we kind of stretch
Selves.
ourselves and really push to our advantage. So when we look at the time frame that the program was initiated, it's 77
it's definitely
persons.
falling
It's
short.
definitely falling short of that goal. Nevertheless, I think the initiative is a great one, and if it's only 77 persons, then I get it.
Right.
But ambition is sometimes what drives us.
Absolutely. I think he means well, but I really love the fact that Mr. Petrus,
Yes.
Mr. Petrus, correct? That's
Yes,
his name?
Ali Petrus.
Right. He spoke to the fact that, hiring locals is so important. And I know recently the premier did make mention of the fact that no longer will he be just accepting business persons from overseas or business opportunities. They really have to show how it's going to be of great
And he's
benefit
right.
to the BVI public. So I'm really happy to see 30 persons just under this one
And that's just one
establishment
company, yeah.
really speaks volume. So of course,
I must say this though, the premier is he made a valid point in that when it comes to the development of the country and when it comes to seeking outside investors, we as a country and as a government have to be intentional.
Right.
No longer can we just
Leave it to chance.
Leave it to chance.
Absolutely.
We definitely have to be intentional, and I think in this approach, him and his government are definitely being intentional as it pertains to the people of the Virgin Islands.
yes, and it's working out for everyone involved. Viewers, we have to move right along. The highly debated Computer Misuse and Cybercrime Act 2019 recently became law with the consent of Governor Jaspert. Governor Jaspert expressed that after careful deliberations and consideration for freedom of speech and the media, he signed off but requested the integration of fair guidelines. Now, Governor Jaspert released a statement yesterday, and it reads, "This morning, I assented to the Computer Misuse and Cybercrime Amendment Act 2019, bringing the amendments into effect. Now, before giving assent, I considered the provisions in the amended act very carefully. Many of these amendments are positive steps and are needed to deter nefarious online behavior, such as cyberbullying, to prevent and identify theft and fraud, and of course, to protect our children and vulnerable people. However, concerns have also been expressed to me by local and regional members of the media, particularly in relation to the freedom of expression. Their concerns relate to certain provisions in the amended act that they believe may threaten the principle and guarantee the freedom of expression and press freedom, and that the citizens of any democracy have a fundamental right to debate public figures and policies that affect their lives. My view is that freedom of expression can and should include the right to appropriately say things that others may not want to hear. Social media and online platforms are necessary in a democracy for discussion, exchange of information, and opinions. I have been reassured that those provisions in the Amendment Act that have attracted criticism and should not and will not be seen as free rein for prosecuting content, which is consistent with guarantees of freedom of expression in a democratic society." Now, he continued, "After consulting with the Premier and Cabinet, I have assented to the act, and in order to ensure that the importance of freedom of speech for citizens and journalistic comment is protected, I have also recommended to the Director of Public Prosecutions that she consider the drafting of guidelines that would help to ensure that offenses created under the Computer Misuse and Crime Act as amended can be prosecuted fairly and effectively without compromising freedom of speech guaranteed by the Virgin Islands Constitution Order 2007, particularly protection for those commenting online and journalistic reporting." So, viewers, as you can see, the act has already been commissioned. The fine print, of
Yes.
course, and the guidelines are yet to be curated. But the main concern is that, everyone is hoping, Ron, that it will be fair. Now, that is legitimate, now that it is legitimate, persons found guilty of any such crimes, for
Yes.
example, defamation, will be fined up to $100,000 or face incarceration of up to 3 years in jail, or both. Other crimes within the legislation can see someone also being charged as much as $500,000 or spending up to 14 years in jail. So, Ron,
Very
here we
interesting.
see a very interesting piece of legislation finally being consented by our governor, Governor Jaspert. I know initially in the past it was proposed but somewhat delayed because Governor Jaspert had those same
Reservations,
concerns about, how much a piece of legislation like this will silence the media and, by default, persons in the public. And I think when we think about what is happening, yes, it will speak to a lot of benefits in the community. We see, for example, very popularly a lot of child pornography, a lot of pornography floating around in the air. We see many cases of defamation, especially around elections time.
Yes.
So of course, these persons need to be rightfully prosecuted. I just pray and hope that this piece of legislation does not cripple us in the media in any way.
Well, I'll tell you this, Jovan, from a very honest perspective, I do think that this act is a long time coming. We've been anxiously awaiting it and watching the progression of it, but I do have to admit that it's very interesting, the timeliness of it. If, just take for example, had this act been enacted prior to the general elections, it would have been very interesting when it comes to the defamation of character, and it speaks to the downfall and the degrading of persons. But I would say this, and I'm saying this on a personal level, at the end of the day, as media, we have an obligation, and I can't speak for other media houses, but I can tell you definitely 284 Media, 284 News will not be summoned. We have an obligation to spread the news to the general public in a timely, efficient, classy, respectable manner, not bringing any defamation to persons. I do see this act coming as a very necessary purpose as it pertains to the protection of our children across the territory.
Absolutely.
I do think it's beneficial, but in no means whatsoever will we be stifled as a media. And we're going to wait to see. Yeah, absolutely. That's not what it's about.
And I mean, we speak on behalf of ourselves, and of course, we've always been trying our very best to be impartial and present facts, present truth. But the general consensus, there's a media body in the BVI, and a lot of persons do feel threatened. A lot of the media houses do feel threatened. So I guess I don't know what's going to come out of this.
Wait to be left and see.
Yeah.
But we will represent the people.
We will represent. Yes. They do call us the fourth arm of government.
Absolutely.
Okay, viewers, still ahead. Imogen Sweet back at full capacity and ready to serve. And also we are speaking about former NBA player Mr. Jermaine Taylor and Mr. Rich, who's in the territory visiting.
Good stuff.
A lot more when we return.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media at cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
When you need to stay connected with friends and families at home or abroad, the best choice for you is Freedom. CCT Freedom. With the lowest rates in the market, our Freedom plan gives you unlimited calls and texting. Plus, our Freedom One package includes 10 gigabits of super fast, unlimited LTE data and unlimited calls to the BVI, USA, USVI, Canada, Puerto Rico, and UK lines. Why pay for overages when you can enjoy CCT Freedom? Stop by at one of our stores today and speak with one of our representatives to find out more about our CCT Freedom packages.
Viewers, welcome back. You're watching 284 News. Jovan, there have been some pretty exciting things happening in the territory, particularly when it comes to sports.
Yes,
Tell us all about
we are currently so blessed to be hosting former NBA player Mr. Jermaine Taylor, and we also have Mr. Rich Mala. Both of these men, past NBA basketball players who did incredibly well in their career, and of course are traveling the region and the world mentoring, coaching, and of course are here in the British Virgin Islands. Now yesterday, I know through the BVI Basketball Association Federation, they were able to hold a basketball camp for young promising basketball players right here in British Virgin Islands. So we have a little clip. We're going to send you to it.
Spread it out. Come out the half court.
course, passing the ball, bringing the heat to
Exciting
our
stuff.
multipurpose sports complex. I know the minister is there as well as quite a number of other notables in support of the initiative. But I just think it speaks so highly, their ability to coach and mentor after so many years of being in the sport and giving back in this way really speaks to the fact that they want to keep the legacy of basketball
baton
going.
on,
And
yeah.
it just reminds me a little bit about the late Kobe Bryant,
Of
who was
course,
just laid
that's
to
a
rest with his
great
daughter.
example, yeah.
Absolutely, at age 40, retiring and pledging to give back through mentorship and coaching, of course. So just a great thing to see.
Very exciting. And I know we've talked a lot about sports in the Virgin Islands, Jovan, whether it be softball, basketball, volleyball as well, and a lot of track and field. But it's really good to see our students being mentored by the professionals. And at the end of the day, we're so proud because they do exceptionally well across the region and internationally. On to our next story. The imaging suite at the BVI Health Services Authority, said to be a state-of-the-art equipment with advanced technology and the most competitive prices on island, is functioning at full capacity and is ready to serve the British Virgin Islands and beyond. Radiologist Dr. Jonas Ebarles said MRI, CT scans, mammogram, ultrasounds, X-ray, and imagings are being offered, and encouraging the public to have their imaging done at the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital. He said, and I quote, "Our 3D mammogram breast scans is an advanced form of breast imaging that uses a low-dose X-ray system and computer reconstructions to create 3D dimensions of images of the breast. We are the only facility on the island with an in-house radiologist. We also offer 4D ultrasounds, a 24-hour turnaround time, and the best imaging staff on island." That's what he said, according to Dr. Elbar. Having an in-house radiologist allows for real-time assessments of imaging. We have 2 in-house radiologists with other facilities who use teleradiology. We can therefore offer a quicker turnaround time, request real-time additional imaging, and give immediate advance where necessary. He said to contact us today, and how their confidence speaks to the fact that they have expertise, technology, and a state-of-the-art equipment to produce the best results and provide answers to your medical questions. The radiology department is located on the 3rd floor of the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital. Persons can contact them at 284-852-7727 or email them at xray@bvihsa.vg for information and appointments. The BVI Health Services Authority is committed to delivering excellent, compassionate, client-centered healthcare across the territory. Jovan, I'm so happy to see this because for a very long time in our territory, persons have had to travel abroad for simple stuff like MRI scans,
Absolutely.
CT scans, women who are getting their regular testing for their breast and other ailments. I think this is really necessary, and with such a beautiful facility, such a
Absolutely.
beautiful facility here in the beautiful British Virgin Islands, it's good to see us stepping up to the
Yes,
plate.
inclusive healthcare is very important, and we
Always
see it
needed.
happening not only with the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital, but we do see it
Of
in the
course.
private sector as well.
Bougainvillea has been stepping up and doing remarkable things.
Yes, yes. So of course, there's no need to jump on a plane. And I mean, when you think about the cost attached to emergency flying and airlift, it's pretty expensive sometimes when you're at, especially in emergency situations. So kudos to the team
Yes.
there at BVI
And we
Health
got you.
Services
If
Authority.
if you're not a BVI Islander or you're local and you're watching and you want to come to the BVI to get your testing,
Yes.
we got you.
Medical tourism,
Yes,
right? High
indeed.
five, high five.
Good stuff. Still ahead, the BVI Red Cross receives donation from the National Bank of the Virgin Islands. This and so much more when 284 News returns.
How may I assist you? Yes. You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Welcome back, viewers, to 284 News. Now, the BVI Health Services Authority, the BVI Health Services are proud recipients of
Yes.
$50,000 from the Rotary Club of Tortola to assist with the purchase of laboratory equipment to outfit the new Nurse Iris O'Neill Medical Clinic, of course, that is nestled
Virgin
in the
Gorda.
beautiful island of Virgin Gorda. Chief Executive Officer Dr. Ronald Georges thanked the club for its generous donation following the handing over of the check by Rotary officials. He encouraged other organizations and clubs to continue to donate towards the advancement of healthcare within the territory. Mr. Georges said, quote, "The Rotary Club of Tortola is one of the organizations that continue to invest into the lives of the community. They continue to give towards the advancement of public health care, and we cannot thank them enough. Building a robust health institution is a monumental task, and we continue to encourage the community to partner with us as we seek to improve healthcare service delivery locally," he added. Now, President of the Rotary Club, Mr. Michael Killory, said, "We have donated in the past and we are very happy to donate again. The hospital is a great institution and we are very happy to help the hospital and the professionals that work there to keep making it a great institution." Now, immediate past president, Ms. Lynette Harrigan, beautiful woman, stated that the club is there to provide assistance to the community. She said, quote, "We reinvest back into the community from our fundraisers. We want to know that the Iris O'Neill Medical Center is outfitted with proper machines needed for the community." Now, Mrs. Harrigan also encouraged other organizations to engage in fundraising to reinvest, the monies back into our community. She said that is why we encourage the community to support Rotary fundraisers, because we see to it that those monies are reinvested back into the community where it can truly make a difference. The new nurse Iris O'Neill Medical Clinic will be officially dedicated and turned over to the BVI Health Services Authority on Thursday, February 20th at 5 p.m. Of course, we will be there to witness that.
Absolutely.
Persons interested in contributing towards the legacy and improvement of the healthcare services on Virgin Gorda can contact the BVI Health Services Marketing and Communications Unit at 852-7655 or email nletsum at bvihsa.vg. Persons, of course, on Virgin Gorda can also collect and complete pledge forms at the Nurse Iris O'Neill Clinic and donate to the program. No donation is too big, no donation is too small. The Nurse Iris Medical Clinic Pledge Program appreciates them all. The BVI Health Services Health Authority, again, is very committed to delivering excellent, compassionate, and client-centered health care across the territory.
Well, Jovan, the Ministry of Health and the Honorable Carvin Malone, they're
doing it.
Yeah, they're doing it. They're
kicking it up.
Yeah, they're controlling the newscast today, but really, really amazing stuff. And not only, I think the people and residents of Virgin Gorda have been waiting for such a long time to see this project come to fruition and complete. I know it started under a former administration, but we see where this government has stepped in and continued the work. And I think it's just a long time coming, and we can't wait. And we're so excited to celebrate with the people of Virgin Gorda with their new medical facility. On to another philanthropic initiative and healthcare. The BVI Red Cross has received a donation from the National Bank of the Virgin Islands towards the agency's humanitarian work in the territory. Director of the BVI Red Cross, Ms. Stacy Lloyd, received a check for $1,000 contribution from the National Bank's Operation Manager, Mr. Wade Richardson. In an invited comment, Ms. Lloyd said, "We are grateful for National Bank's continued support towards the humanity work in the Virgin Islands." She continued and said the money will go towards programs which will assist the most vulnerable during the after crises. Ms. Lloyd also took the opportunity to remind persons of the agency's other fundraising efforts, including the upcoming 2020 Nissan Kicks raffle. The drawing will take place at the Caribbean Insurers Limited courtyard on Valentine's Day, which is tomorrow. Giovanna, I know you ladies are anticipating Valentine's Day, and persons are still encouraged to support the BVI Red Cross by purchasing tickets. We here at 284 Media, we have tickets available. If you want to support that cause, give myself or Giovanna a call. Contact us here at the studio, and we'll be happy to assist. You can buy individual tickets, right, Giovanna?
Yes, $20. We have $20 and $25. The $15 tickets are sold out completely. But with the $20 ticket, of course, you get to win not just the car, but you also win 3 months gas. So with the $25 tickets,
How
you
can
win
you beat that,
6 months gas.
That's an amazing deal, definitely. And of course, it's going towards a worthy cause. So we encourage you to support and definitely check out the Red Cross movement. Is a volunteer-based international humanitarian organization. The BVI Red Cross was established in 1956, and they continue to do amazing, amazing work.
All right, viewers, that is it for today's news roundup. Be sure to like us or follow us rather for daily news
course.
on 284media.com, as well as like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram as well as Twitter. My name is Javon Wilson.
And I'm Ron Grant. We'll see you again tomorrow as we deliver your daily dose of local, regional, and international content. We are 284 News, your source for honest and impartial news right here on 284 Media. Happy Thursday, everybody. Have a good one.
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for calling CCT. Trumpet speaking. How can I help? Well, so you know February is the month of love. Yes, and we all love data. And because we love you so much, yes, we decided to give double data. But wait, let me slow it down for you. Follow my voice. Activate any hero plan, double data. Activate any 2 gig plan, double data. It don't stop there. Pay your bill before February 12th and have a chance to win a lunch or dinner for 2. Yes, I said it. For 2.
Double the data and double the fun when you fall in love with our deals for the month of February. Activate a hero plan or 2 gigabyte data plan and get double data. That's enough for you and your boo or your crew. And don't miss out on the chance to win lunch or dinner for 2 if you pay your bill before February 12th. Activate any hero plan or 2 gigabyte data plan. Come enjoy the month of love on us.
Thank you for calling CCT. Have a blessed day. Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for calling CCT. Trumpet speaking. How can I help? Well,
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Brilliant Hands and Minds Tutoring Services. One-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals. Some claim that the age of a true gentleman is far behind us, but here at 284 Media, we disagree. He may appear in different guises today, but the values and ideals that make him a gent still stand. 284 Media proudly presents its newest talk show, The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, with yours truly, Ron Grant. A show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. Don't worry, it's not all about suits and bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons that translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, a 284 Media production.